Hello, this is Bobby with Madness Labs, and today we're going to be covering how to do an environment setup. Basically, the environment is just a set of programs and software that we install in order to allow us to do our code. So first thing you're going to want to do is pop open your favorite browser, which should be Chrome, and you're going to grab a couple pieces of software. So number one is going to be Node.js. So go to nodejs.org. And go ahead and click on the download button for the latest stable. And we're going to grab 6.1 here, or 6.11. So now we're going to run the install on Node. Give it a minute. So as soon as it's done downloading, it should pop open any day now. Aha. Okay, so it's going to pop up the setup wizard, and like a real power user, I'm going to mash the next button like there's no tomorrow. Next, accept the terms. Next again. Default install location is great unless you want to change it. All this stuff's great. And install. So Node.js is a JavaScript web server. It's based on the Chrome V8 engine. So basically it's going to allow you to run JavaScript files to do server-side coding on your local machine. We won't be getting into anything that we'll be using this today. However, having this installed will make it much easier in the future to work on all the different videos we're going to start spinning up. So as you can see here, I already have Node installed, so it's going to be removing the old version and installing the new one. But again, same process. So once that's done and ready to roll, we need to install Git. So gitscm.com. It's gitscm.com, or you can always just type in git download Windows or git download Mac if you're on Mac. And then you're going to head on over to the downloads page. And when you get here, you can choose your operating system. So we are on Windows, and it kind of already figures it out and gives us a nice little quick download button here. So go ahead and click that, and then it's going to start downloading. Let's check back in on Node. So Node. You can do it. You can do it. Awesome sauce. Okay, so now Node is finished installing. Click finish and it'll close. So now let's go ahead and install Git. So what Git is it's basically a distributed version control system, which is fancy talk for it's going to sync your code. It's going to take any changes that you make, and you can then sync them to a online repository like GitHub or your own Git server online. And then basically you can pull those changes back down on a new machine. This is going to be an essential tool if you get into a workplace where there's a team of people coding, or even just for your own sanity as you transfer between computers. So we're going to click next, next, next. Next, I think you get the gist here. Next, 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 next. Okay, so this is going to install, and both of these tools are going to give us a command line tool that we can use to run commands. And that's really what Git is. It's a command line tool in order to do version control. But we're going to actually download Visual Studio Code and actually get that set up as well. And that's going to utilize Git in order to sync all of your changes to GitHub, which we'll actually cover in the next video. So while we're waiting for Git to install, let's go download VS Code. So I'm just going to type in VS Code and head on over to the downloads page. So you can see there's a nice big download button right on the front page. Download. Awesome. So we're going to head back over to Git, watch it finish installing. So install times vary machine to machine. Luckily, we're on a nice Surface laptop, so it's going to be pretty quick. So sorry for you old spinning disk users. So once Git is done, it should close out as well. And then we'll actually install VS Code and then finish off with just kind of running a couple commands in the command line to make sure everything's set up properly. And then you should be good to go with your environment set up. That's pretty much all we want to cover in this video. Keep it simple. Awesome. So now Git's installed. Let's go ahead and install VS Code. Just as before, I'm going to mash the buttons, and oh, I'm totally going to read that entire user agreement. And here's some things to note. VS Code has these cool options that allow us to open with code on the right click. So you could right click a file and directly open it inside of VS Code. I highly recommend it. Some people don't like the clutter in their right click. User preference. So now we're going to install VS Code. And if you haven't guessed it already, life is a series of loading bars. So, and VS Code doesn't even want to give us one. Look at that beautiful blank gray box. Go, gray box, go. I think it forgot how to be a program. You can do it. I know you're made by Microsoft. All odds are against you, but you can do it. All right, well, when this program's done crapping its pants and finishing the install, we should be good to go. And actually at this point, let's just pop open the command prompt and run a couple commands just to make sure that we have everything set up right. So go ahead and click on your start button. And then type in CMD or command prompt, and then you should see it's the first option selected. Click enter, and that should open up this tiny little black box where if you're new to development, you're going to live a good portion of your life here. It's the nice little terminal window. So what we're going to do is run a couple commands to make sure that all these command line things have installed properly. So first we're going to check node, so we can run node -- version. And that's going to give us the version of Node that's currently installed on the machine. So you can see earlier I downloaded version 6.11, and I can see there in the command prompt that Node version 6.11 is installed. We also are going to check Git, so we can do Git -- version, and we can see that Git 2.13 is installed, the exact same version we just downloaded and installed. Right? So that's those two tools. Code also comes with its own built-in command line thing, but rarely used. Why use the terminal if you don't have to? So if you've got that and all looks correct, then you're good to go. If you get any errors like this that say Git is not a recognized command or that Node is not a recognized command, first of all, check for spelling mistakes. And if you're still having problems, then that probably means that you didn't get the install correct. And if you already had a terminal window open, so say I had this terminal window open and then I installed Git, you're going to need to close down the command prompt window and then open up a new one. All command prompt windows, so any one that's open. And so basically what happens is it makes kind of a list of commands that are currently available when the terminal window is open. So any new commands that are installed, it isn't aware of. So you just need to close it down, reopen it back up, try it again, it should work. If not, you maybe didn't install something. So if that's the case, just go back in the video, watch again, and you should be good to go. So we're going to trust that Visual Studio Code is going to install. I mean, I know that's a lot to ask on this first video, but trust me, it will install. And as always, if you guys need any help, you can catch us on Twitter @MadnessLabs. We're on Facebook, Madness Labs, and you can always go to our website, madnesslabs.net. All right, thanks for your time, guys. We'll see you in the next video.